Good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. How are you doing? Good morning, good morning. How are things going with you? Let me know if you can hear me okay. How are you doing? Hi. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. I know that you can't see each other, but I can see both of you. Hi. Let me know where you're watching from and what time it is and how many children you have, anything that you want to tell me, especially if it has to do with today's topic, which is Montessori sensorial works. How is everyone doing? This has been a great week for us. We went to the lake over the weekend and it was amazing. It was such a great break for us. We really needed that. So, hello. I hope that I'm saying your name right. Timitope. Timitope? Timitope. Either way, it sounds beautiful. How are you doing? I am so glad that you can hear me. And I wish I could hear you too, but feel free to message me, comment here as we're chatting about sensorial works. It is really, really cool that you guys are here. And today's topic is super important. And make sure that, oh, hello, you're from Nigeria. Awesome. Make sure that you have paper and pencil to take some notes because I think I'm going to give you some really, really great um, tips that you won't want to miss, that you will want to think about a little bit more. And that way, you can go ahead and move ahead on your Montessori journey. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Hey there, this is Tanya Wright from thenaturalhomeschool.com, the place for homeschool and Montessori lovers ready to make themselves centered, organized teachers, nurture happy children, and create smooth and successful days. Let's get you closer to your transformation today. Welcome.
Hey, all right. So today, for some reason, there are some technical difficulties with the audio and the video on my end, but they seem to be working fine on your end. So I'm just going to ignore them and enjoy today's training. Before we get into the actual training, I just want to take a few seconds to tell you that you are more than welcome to join the two Facebook groups that I have that are great. One is for homeschoolers, the Natural Homeschool Community. And you go there, request to join. We talk all things homeschool, no matter what method you're using, if it's Montessori exclusively or a mix or anything else. We talk all things Montessori or all things homeschool. And then there's a Montessori only group as well on Facebook. So you search for the Montessori Way Prep Room, and that is going to be the group that you will want to join if you are doing Montessori exclusively. Whether you're homeschooling or not, you might be a Montessori guide, you might be a Montessori parent, and your children go to a Montessori school. You just want to learn more about Montessori. And even those curious souls are more than welcome to join, even if you are not doing it yet, but you want to be a part of it and see what it's about. Please join. You're more than welcome. It is completely free. You will get all kinds of ideas and different, uh, just special treatment from me. You will be the first ones to find out about different things and all that good stuff. All right. Now, keep those in mind, write them down. So when you're done with this training, you can go to Facebook and search for those groups and request to join. All right. I can't wait to see you inside those groups. And I also want to tell you that because our days, our training times are limited, I want to dig deeper, just a little bit deeper, nothing too overwhelming on the topic that we talk about each week. So today, for example, we're talking about sensorial works and why they're so important for children. But there are some things um, that I can't or I might not have time to do and or to talk about. And so I want you to get the emails. It's the weekly email where I dig deeper into that topic. So it's all written out for you. It's a quick read, but it will give you so many great tips and just go a little bit deeper. So you're taking a step further on your journey, the Montessori way, but doing it right, if you know what I mean. So, as I do this training, feel free to comment if you're live, and if you're watching the replay, you can comment and I will get notification as well. If you have comments, questions, anything that you want to talk about, you're more than welcome to. All right. Yay. Let's get started. Today's topic is, let's see. Oh, because I had to restart. Today's topic is, why are sensorial works so important for children? You guys know that this is an awesome subject in Montessori. So let's talk about that. Just like practical life is a unique and exclusive subject in the Montessori curriculum, so is the subject called sensorial. Sensorial activities involve, of course, the five senses in children, helping them with many important skills. Most of these sensorial lessons and skills help improve life, independence, and even survival. Some of these skills are visual discrimination, eye-hand coordination, fine motor skills, and more. When I say survival, I'm talking about, for example, one of the categories in sensorial is uh, discriminating between hot and cold and the different degrees of heat and coldness. So, survival would be obviously children being able to discriminate not just with pain because they could get burned. They will also be able to determine the vocabulary, words to use, so they can communicate what they are feeling. If they're feeling overheated, that can be important if they're feeling way too cold, because they have had those tools on knowing how to determine those different feelings for temperature, but also the vocabulary on how to communicate about it. The Montessori method gave much attention and emphasis on this important subject, and that is why we need to talk about it today. If you are looking to becoming a centered, organized Montessori guide, nurture happy, normalized children, and want to create smooth, successful Montessori days, then you are in the right place. Let me know in comments what you know about this topic as I go along. In this training, we will answer an essential question. Why are Montessori sensorial works so important for children? This is so that you can gain a better understanding of this fantastic subject when you implement it in your own Montessori environment. Some Montessori sensorial materials in the prepared environment are the red rods, colored tablets, the binomial cube, and pink tower, but there are many, many more. Each one has a main aim or area of focus, what exactly the child will be learning through that work specifically. There might be secondary aims and other aims in the work, of course, but there is always one main aim. And it is one of the 9 categories in the sensorial subject. Did you know that? Sensorial is not just one big, huge blob of sensory works. There is an order to the chaos. There are 9 categories inside the Montessori sensorial subject. We will discuss what these 9 categories are in later training, so I can go more into detail what each one is about, what they focus on, and some example works for each of those categories. So be watching out for those trainings. But for now, you will need to walk away from this training knowing why these works are so important. Okay, get your wheels turning, get you warmed up to the idea of including Montessori sensorial works, but the reasoning behind it. See, you might be doing Montessori sensorial works right now, but the reasoning behind it is not quite there. And that's why I'm here for you. I'm your Montessori coach, and I'm going to be telling you the important reasoning behind sensorial. It's not just something that keeps children busy. I want you to understand that very, very clearly. This is so you are able to help children in the best way possible. So let's get into the slides. Number 1. Why are Montessori sensorial works so important for children? Well, number 1, the 5 senses must be included because they are vital, and that is the truth. Dr. Montessori conducted countless observations of children and determined that the sensorial subject was a very important one. Actually, it should be a priority and it should be one of the first subjects to be introduced in the Montessori environment for young children. Not only was it vital to include it in the Montessori classroom, but it was imperative that there are sensitive areas that include activities that target all 5 senses. Of course, the 5 senses are sight, smell, touch, taste, and hearing. You don't have to focus on all 5 senses at all times or use one Montessori work that targets all 5 senses at once. But you do make sure to keep track of what works you put out so that you can keep them balanced. Not do too many of one sense and neglect other senses. So don't be intimidated by them. It's actually a great opportunity for you to get thinking, get creative, and have some Montessori works that aim at different senses at different times. Montessori schools and home Montessori activities can be the same. So don't feel that they have to be different in the environment. You just need to keep in mind how many children you are working with and put out enough works for children to be able to get a turn to work with these sensorial works. If you have a larger group, which would be most likely the case in a Montessori school, not at home, then you would want to put a few more Montessori sensorial works on your shelves, right? There is a quote by Maria Montessori that fits in really well with this point, and that is, the task of the educator lies in seeing that the child does not confound good, good with immobility and evil with activity. And this is a great segue to our point number two. This means that the child should not get confused in terms of, think of traditional school as opposed to Montessori. The Montessori is very open, very open. Children are allowed to move around, walk around, work on the floor, work at tables, work independently, work in small groups. And we don't want children to confound or to confuse that immobility is good and activity or movement is evil. No, no, no. They're allowed to experience their five senses in the Montessori environment. All right. So let's get into the next point. Why are Montessori sensorial works so important for children? Well, number two, children assimilate the mental and the emotional through the physical, okay, through the senses. Children assimilate the mental and emotional through the physical, through the senses. Montessori teachers and parents must understand this deeply if they wish to really help children reach their fullest potential. This is because children learn best with kinesthetic or hands-on materials. They want to touch, they want to feel, they want to explore, they want to see how things work, they want to see behind the curtain, if you know what I mean. They don't always take things at face value. This is this is something that reminds me of growing up. I have a sister. I'm the oldest. I have a younger sister and two younger brothers after my sister. And my sister and I put together this, just using a refrigerator box, a little puppet theater. And we were playing puppets behind the box, practicing a little play that we put together. And my brothers would sit and they would be the spectators. Well, we didn't want to ruin the surprise for them. We didn't want them to see behind the curtain, if you will, because we thought that it would ruin the entire activity, right? If they know how it works, then what's the fun in it? Where's the magic? But the opposite happened. We actually let them come back to the behind the scenes. They had to crouch and they had to put their puppet above. And I could see, even though they were young, they were 3 and 5, I could see those little wheels turning, making sense of things like, oh, I'm crouching here with my hand up here, but that's not what people out there see. So they loved the hands-on. They loved to see how things worked. And that was one of those aha moments for me. So as I was putting this training together, that came to mind because we try to not ruin it for children, but it's actually something that they might benefit from. And actually, it was so great in our case because then they started to put their own little plays together. We got to be the spectators, and it was just such a great hands-on activity where we created more hand puppets and they were able to be a part of it, not just they were the interactive on the interactive side and not just on the immobile side where they're just sitting there receiving the entertainment, but they were actually part of it and they loved it. As I have mentioned in past trainings of mine, they must focus on concrete before moving to abstract. So that's another reason why children are naturally drawn to hands-on works. They want to touch, they want to feel, they want to see, they want to make it a part of them, they want to walk around and move. because it is just how they are made. We grow out of it as we start young with concrete, which means things that you can actually feel and touch and manipulate, and move into the abstract, which is more of the math, paper and pencil, the mental math, and things like that. So please don't do paper and pencil, which is more abstract, until they have shown clear mastery of the concrete. They will, on their own, show you when they are ready to step away from the hands-on Montessori materials. Usually, this is on or around age 6, but it might take a little bit longer. It might stop a little bit sooner, just whenever children are transitioning into the abstract portion of the elementary Montessori. You will know, you will see the signs. So let me encourage you to keep encouraging hands-on, kinesthetic, sensory works that are attractive and pleasing to the eye. Make sure that there is a direct aim or a learning goal for each work that you do. Okay? And visit all 9 categories of the sensorial subject to keep it balanced. There's a quote by Maria Montessori that I want to share with you. She said, "We shall walk together on this path of life, for all things are part of the universe and are connected with each other to form one whole unity." Maria Montessori said that. It is true. So now I want to take a 60-second break and show you something real fast, and I will be right back with the point number 3 for today. Hey everybody, it's Tanya Wright from thenaturalhomeschool.com, and I am super excited to invite you to the Montessori Way Foundations workshop. What is that? It is a free 5-day workshop where we're going to be delving in deep in the Montessori foundations, so you will have a better understanding of the Montessori philosophy, and in turn, that is going to make you a centered, organized Montessori guide, so you can nurture happy, normalized children and have the beautiful side effect of creating smooth and successful Montessori days. So look at the link and the information below and sign up. It starts October 26th and it's free, 5 days. Show up live and participate. I'll see you then. All right, so if you want to join the workshop, it is starting soon. So please sign up. I just posted the link in the comments if you are live, and if you are not live, then make sure that you go to the same link that was in the commercial, but instead of workshop at the end, you're going to go to wait list. So you will do www.thenaturalhomeschool.com/TMWFF-workshop to sign up for the workshop. And if it's over, you will join the wait list for the workshop. And as soon as it opens up again, you will be notified via email. So guys, I am honest with you. I am completely honest and transparent with you. I love these workshops. I cannot tell you enough on how amazing they are and how helpful they are. But I also wanted to tell you that even though my aim is to do these workshops 3 times a year, maybe 4 times a year, this time there was a 6-month break. and just things in life happen, and I have not been able to put it together until now. But you are more than welcome to join the workshop. It is completely free, and you will grow so much more because it is 5 days of training. All right, so be sure to join. And let's go back into point number 3 in our training. Why are Montessori sensorial works so important for children? Number 3, because they refine children's understanding of the world. Montessori truly is Montessori education is a genius program. And I'm not saying it because I love it, and I'm not saying it because I have to. I really, really do believe it. The senses play an essential and quite unique role on how children will understand the world that they live in. Sensorial materials help refine children's understanding of the world by stimulating and provoking their 5 senses. Everything begins with the senses, and children will benefit greatly when they're able to refine them and isolate them, know the vocabulary for each of those senses, and so much more. But why will children benefit greatly when they are able to refine them? Well, because when they are learning about topics such as heat, coldness, colors, color grading, weight differences, and things like that, you will always be observing. Through these observations that you're going to do very carefully, which are more important than you know, will give you a boatload of treasures on how you can set up your Montessori environment, what children are ready for, and what they have mastered. So there are so many clues here. One last quote from Maria Montessori for you, okay? She said, respect all the reasonable forms of activity in which the child engages and try to understand them. So, as you do your observations, your reflections, you will be able to do that. Respect all the reasonable forms of activity and try to understand them. I know that this training will get you thinking more about including sensorial works in your Montessori environment. But what's more, you are actually knowing the why behind it, why they are so important. I gave you 3 quick points today, but remember that if you get the weekly emails, we delve deeper into it and you get to learn more as you watch more of these trainings. So be on the lookout. Go to thenaturalhomeschool.com and be sure to learn more about these live trainings because I do one every week. And last but not least, I do want to invite you again to join the workshop. It's coming up soon. You don't want to miss it. And so I want you to join this workshop. And if it is over, still go to that link and you will get on the wait list. So the next time I am doing it in a few months, you will be ready, you will be notified, and you will be on your way to a great journey with me. I love being your Montessori coach. I really, really do. So please join me. I can't wait to help you grow. And that's it for today. But make sure that you come back every week and learn more. Join the Facebook groups as well. All right. I will see you next week. Thanks and bye for now.
I appreciate you sharing time with me today. You have tons of choices about what you're listening to, and I love that you chose the Natural Homeschool Show. Thank you. Well, that's it for today. Until next time, this is Tanya Wright with thenaturalhomeschool.com. I hope that you will use this training to create solutions that will bring about smooth, successful days for you. Let's get you closer to that transformation today.